Welcome. I'm the indie dev of CWDI Games, and welcome to part 6 of Let's Make a Tank Game in the Flax game engine. In this video, we are going to be adding tank shells and shooting them. I've already created a prefab. I have my tank shell. So I have a rigid body, sphere collider, and our cone. Okay, the cone is the visual representation. So I'm rotating it at 90 degrees. Okay, this is the board z-axis. We have to have a rigid body first, then a collider, and then our model representation. We come into our player tank. We add some variables here. Okay, I have added these variables. Private actor, prefab temp, temporary variable for spawning prefabs, public prefab tank shell. Okay, here. Public float shell spawn height, and private float shell spawn z. So let's look at this. So our tank shell in the on public over on the on update, if input.get mouse button down, mouse button right. I'm using this for testing purposes right now. So prefab temp equals prefab manager spawn prefab tank shell new vector. So this is what we're spawning. This is its position, tank turret.position.x. So here is the tank turret. Okay, what we want to do is spawn it where the tank turret is pointing a little bit in front of the gun barrel. So we're going to get the X, Y position and the Z position. Then here, we're going to create it a certain length away from the center of the tank turret. So it's in front of the gun barrel. Plus tank turret.transform.left. Yes, we would like to do forward normally, but see right here for the tank turret, okay, z-axis is this way. That's forward. So this is over left. That's where we're pointing. Because remember, we did all this math to get everything to line up for having the tank turret follow the mouse. So instead of forward, it's left. So we match up with the way the gun barrel is facing. So tank turret.transform.left times shell spawn z. So that's how many units in front of the center of the tank turret we wanted to spawn. And I did this height thing here for shell spawn height. I'll show you why. So let's make this 0. And let's not add any force. Okay. Go on the editor. It's on the ground. Okay. So it's on the ground. I'm not sure why it's on the ground, but it is. And so that's why I did 300. And so let's do that again. And notice how, okay, let's pause this. Tank turret. And notice how this is lower than the tank barrel. I did that on purpose because when we fire it, we want it to actually hit the side of the tank and of the enemy tank, which is going to be the same prefab but a different color. So if it's at this height, there's just a chance it might miss on some shots. So I want to make it so it hits the tank. Okay, and then prefab temp dot as rigid body, because the prefab, the parent, like the first, this is the rigid body and everything else is attached to it. Prefab temp dot as rigid body dot add force. Notice I don't have gravity turned on. I don't want it to be affected by gravity. I just want it to go in a straight line until it hits something, and then physics can take over. So all right, let's see if 10 cube. Okay, box collider. So position is down on the bottom. All right. Okay, let's go into, we're going to spawn instantiate prefabs. Okay. -1. So let's go -5F. So it's a little bit in the floor. See if that does anything. I'm wondering if the tank doesn't have a collider at all. Okay, let's see if we can go higher. Ha! In the force. And I will change this so it's not a magic number. I actually have a variable for it up there. Right now I'm doing testing. So, oh, that went through. So let's up here. All right. Notice I moved the camera. Orthographic needs to be 40. You can't even see the shells we're firing. So the next video is going to be adding particle trails to the shells using Flax Engine's particle system so we can see where we're shooting. Thanks for watching this video. Play games, make games, and have fun.